So today we are going to talk about Tailwind CSS. Okay, intro to Tailwind. I have not prepared anything for the class, so whatever is going to happen you will see in action. Basically there is nothing I have done in preparation side. Okay, so I created a HTML file. You can create your own. You put this, and this code is pre-written for you. Now how does this work? How does this work is because we are using VS Code. VS Code has extensions which we are utilizing it. Okay, so that is why I'll take your questions if you have any, right? Kopal, I'll take your questions in some time. Okay, what we did here is we basically created a new folder. Inside we created a new file using index.html. Fine. Now we created this content by doing shift and this exclamatory mark. The moment you do that, it automatically shows this emit abbreviation. We click on this, we come across this. Okay, we'll say intro to. Okay, this is what we did. And if you take a look at this, automatically when I save it, it automatically changes its structure because we are using extensions for that again. This extension probably it's called prettier if we use it for that. Anyways, so we have our Java's HTML file. We will not be creating any CSS. And before we talk about what Tailwind is, I want to show you right in front of you what Tailwind is all about. Okay, so let's head over to Tailwind. Okay, and it says what, build modern looking website without leaving your HTML, which means we are in HTML and we'll close it. That means that's it. We will not be doing anything in any other file, only in this particular file. Now it says Tailwind, it's a utility first Tailwind, it's a utility first CSS framework packed with classes like this that can be composed to build any design directly in your mockup. Meaning in your this HTML file you can put your classes and it will work. So basically whatever you are doing using classes definition and all of this, you are able to do. All of these we are going to do in simple steps of Tailwind. For example, this is the card that you want to create. What we are doing, we are simply changing the classes here. So basically we said max auto, font medium, this text we are changing. All of these are like a preview for you. Okay, and this is what we are changing here. We are changing everything directly right in front of you. Okay, we are not doing any styling into CSS at all, and everything is basically changed for you. Okay, this is how it looks, and you can do anything with this. Basically you can create any website with this. Best practices don't actually work, it says, which means like there are a couple of best practices you might be using into CSS which we are not going to utilize. Okay, so that's what it is. And it has like very vast library as well. I mean, a lot of things you can do here. You can put all of these things here. We'll talk about them. Okay, basically colors, you can put your own colors here. You can create your own colors. And typography, you can utilize it like this typography. Shadow, you can utilize it. All of this is pretty much created by the Tailwind only. These are predefined classes. It will automatically work. Okay, this is what it is. You can create something like this. So for example, if I use this code, basically I'll show it to you. Right now it is not visible because I have to integrate Tailwind. Okay, but it is that simple. Basically you can put your content here. It will look like this. You can do anything you want to do. Basically how it is working is, the moment you put flex here, what is happening is it is automatically creating a flex for us. Like the moment we say flex, this class got added automatically. The moment we say item center, this class got added, and this class and this class, and so on. It keeps on doing it. It keeps on doing its job. Correct? So this is what we are going to do. And it is also responsive, which means you can create a responsive like a structure like this. Okay, you can make it pretty much responsive, everything that you wanted to do. Okay, on any screen you wanted, on any size you wanted, basically. And you can have like you may have known about this pseudo classes, like who were active and these things. So basically these are the classes. Basically you can click on them, you can do this, you can do that, anything you can do here. Basically see, this is what it is happening. Click on this. So anyways, I mean, and you can do it into React, Vue, Angular, any place basically. Okay, this is pretty much easier for us to do. Now what we do, we simply click, or we can interact with any of the component not into framework. You can put all of your you can put this directory to extract all of the logic of the CSS and simply use it. Dark mode can also be enabled here like this. Okay, you can enable your dark mode here. It will pretty much work fine for everything. And I think, yeah, that's what it is. Let's do one thing. Let's start with this. Okay, we clicked on get started. We see something like this. It is your Tailwind CSS. Tailwind CSS works by scanning all of your HTML files, JavaScript components, and any other template for class names, generating the corresponding styles, and then writing them into a static CSS file. This job is not ours. This job is Tailwind only. Now, how do we do this? Okay, it is fast and blah blah blah. We are not going to use CLI because CLI is a command line tool. How we do command line, we do run commands and all. We are also not going to use this because it is also using command line terminal. It is using. There are like a lot of frameworks are available. This framework, that framework, blah blah blah. So many things are available. We are not even going to utilize any of them. All we are going to do, we are going to use them into HTML file directly. How do we write some code into it? Okay, how do we write some code into it? Okay, let's do one thing. Let's start by doing something. Let's start by putting this tag, okay, script tag that is using our tailwindcss.com, right? This thing, it will use this, and let's put it here like this. Okay, so our Tailwind got added. That's it. Basically, that's it. Now, if I'm putting h1 hello, okay, like this, and I open and I run this server with live server, let's see how it will look. This is how it will look. Okay, but if you remove this, this is how it will look, which means Tailwind is working for us. It is having its predefined stylings. We can modify them for our purpose, or we don't want to modify them. That's totally understandable. There is no problem at all. Now, this is where the magic begins. What we are going to do now is, for example, I am using this class hello world. Let's replace it this way. I'm sorry. Yeah. See, it worked. Okay, so the magic is starting. What do? We basically start with we remove underline removed. We remove bold removed. Okay, we have this text Excel. We can say text small. See, it is working. Okay, now let's customize some things for us. We'll do customization and all. Okay, we can put our own colors here, like clipboard colors we want to put, and we want to put this value. Then we can use this text clipboard. What if we want to change the text color here? How do we do that? Let's keep it this way. Let's say text red. Okay, text is not getting red. Anyways, let's do one thing. I'm sorry. No. Let's see. Yeah. So text and then this color you want to put here. Okay. So text color could be anything. Whichever way you wanted to do. 150 or something. You can put it here. So for example, I used red. I can put 500 for example here. So that shade will come. Clear? That's what it is. So now what I did here is I came on this page and I integrated this Tailwind with one single line, and I started using it. If you don't want to modify anything into predefined CSS of Tailwind, don't worry. But if you want to do, we'll talk about that later. Now what we are doing here is we are basically putting this content here. Fine. Now there are so many things you can do in CSS. Right now you cannot have any CSS file. So how will you know all of this? What to use, how to use Flexbox and all? You come across something like this, quick search, click on this, put anything, background color, background color you put this. Okay, bg current, bg void, bg this, that. So much content is there. Basically you can put anything here. Look, on body you can put anything. See, change basically. So the point is, if you want to know how particular thing works, or if you don't know anything about that, that's totally fine. Either you look into it like this is pretty hard to look into basically, or you can come here and search for that particular thing. Anyways, let's come to the documentation again. Let's have this editor and all. Editor we are not going to utilize much into it, not needed. It's pretty simple. Okay, preprocessors not needed. Okay, browser support not needed. Optimization and all you can use. npm is this and that, which we are not going to utilize because we are only doing into HTML. Anyways, let's do utility first approach. It is saying utility first fundamentals, which means like everything you can, for example, we'll talk about that. I mean, whatever you have written code into CSS, you can put everything into Tailwind directly. Okay, you can put everything into Tailwind, and you can read about everything. I can understand a lot of things you don't know about at the moment, but you will start understanding some things sooner or later, correct? Okay, now for example, if I want to use this button, I don't have to do anything at all. I simply come here and put the text, that's it. Okay, I simply put the class name and exactly looking like this will come here. Okay, with some, okay, so this is the button that you wanted to create, but this button is having its own stylings. Due to that reason it is coming into this, but anyways we'll not talk about that. Responsive design is nothing but minimum width. It is saying like SM if you are putting, that means it is minimum width. So everything here is almost minimum width. Okay, so by default you can put anything, and minimum width will be needing that here for responsive width. So whatever goes into going into this value, say LG. Okay, LG we can change. We by default LG is saying how much minimum width has 1024 pixel, but we can change this into Tailwind, but not right now. We'll talk about that. So what we are doing here is we are simply saying that if minimum width of your screen is less than if minimum width is 1024, then apply that particular stylings. Okay, otherwise do something else. Okay, dark mode is also visible here. Dark mode you can do, so basically you can put the whole content into that dark mode basically like this. Okay, and it should be visible. Basically it should be visible, right? Everything is pretty much fine. Anyways, so yeah. What else we do? We have this dark mode and this. Okay, anyways, reusable stylings, this, that, so much content is here. Anyways, if you really want to use this one, for example, if you really want to use this, you can directly use this. Everything is looking fine. There may be some stylings not exactly looking like this will come. So, and then okay, let's talk about adding custom styles. Custom styles by default you can add into Tailwind. We'll talk about that. Functions we have, but we are not going to talk about it. Could be complex for now. Tailwind.config, this is a file where your whole code will go. Same thing. Content is the content. Okay, what content you want to implement into. It is importing things which is not needed into HTML at the moment. Themes we have, color spacing, customization you can do. You can do customization at any point basically. You can have transparent color, white color, purple color, this color, that color. A lot of things you can do. Break after. These are the layouts basically you can use. And I can understand you don't want to talk about all of these things in one go. Okay, so let's do one thing. I have found something. We have our index.html file here, which we created. We used to create this structure. Okay, now how do we create something like this? How do we create something here? Let's implement this. For example, how do you implement it? You will put div, or you can say like section, for example, section, and then you will say div. So it will automatically create a new div for you. And let me talk about this one shortcut. It says section and then div. Okay, so now if you simply put section here, right, section, and simply do, it will automatically create this. And if you want a division which is having flex box, then you will do this and then put a dot and then put flex here. Flex is basically it is telling you that this is what it will create for you. division flex and then this. If you enter it, it will do it like this. But flex and you do 4, so it will create 4 for you, 4 boxes basically. So yeah, I mean that's what I wanted to talk about. Anyways, so we created a flex box. Okay, in that flex box we can create another flex box which is about the card. I mean the card that we are going to talk about here, this card we are going to talk about. So this card will have some border we are trying to give is border and border black. So black border we are going to give here. Okay, next thing, we are inside that, what we are going to give is we are going to give some padding as well. Padding. So the padding we want to give is P means padding, X means horizontal, Y means vertical, common sense. PT means padding top, PB means padding bottom, and so on. Top, right, left and bottom, all 4 of them are right. So if you are putting P, so it means it will be applied for all the places. If you put PT, it will be applied for padding top. If you put PL, which means it will be padding left. If you put padding X, which means left and right. If you put padding Y, it will be top and bottom. That's it. Now what we have here is we have an image. We want to use that image. So this is the image that we want to utilize. Okay, we are putting this and we are saying width is full, for example. Okay, now we are putting into this particular box and we are saying flex and we are saying flex call. Flex call is the column flex. Okay, yeah, let's put it here again. Let's say flex here. Okay, flex call will also come again. In here, what text we want to put here? We want to say dog name. Okay, and what we want to do here is, how do I know? I mean, whatever I want to do, let's say typography, like this. Okay, okay, not needed, like this. Okay, typography should, yeah, this is the typography basically. This is text SM, text L. We will do like text base, for example. No, not text base, because this is pretty Excel. And we will say about dog, and we will say base. These are the class names that everything in Tailwind is all about class names. That's it. Fine. So this is what we did. In this parent, we have 2 children, and all of them are getting applied with same, column basically. Okay. Let's take a look at this. How does this look? It looks pretty weird at the moment. So what will we do is, we'll put something like class as 3x4. Okay, and padding that we want to give is 4 pixel and all the places. So this is how it will look like. Okay, now this rounded thing should be applied on this particular rounded. Okay, so this is what is getting rounded. Now I have given the full width. I don't want to give full width. What width is fine for us? If we do width here, we'll find all of these things here. We can do 30, 20. If we do 10 here, will it work? If we do 10 here, will it look good? I don't know. Let's see. Bad. Let's make it 32. It will look good? No, not good. 64 if you put, will it look good? All of these values, 64 to 20, 30, all of these values are coming by our end only. We are defining it up from our end. And what is the value, what is the meaning of W80 means width is 20 rem. That's it. This is what we created. Now we have to give some extra spacing as well, like we are giving 2 pixel, we should give 4 pixel basically, like something like this. Okay, let's give it similar basically. Okay, or less than that. Yeah, looks similar. Yeah. Okay, now let's structurize couple of things. See, now I'm going to utilize our inspect for now. This is our inspect. It has 2 elements. First one is this, second one is this. Okay, this element and this element are into this. If we put gap here, for example, on parent element, gap is 1 rem, so it got applied here. So we can also apply gap here. Gap 1. Let's refresh it. Gap 2 should be fine. Yeah, gap 2 is fine basically. And we added this class. Now font bold we also have to do, because then only it will look good, na? And about the typography, okay, this is where the typography goes. Font size, font weight. No, not font weight. Font weight is fine basically. Font size we can give excess, like this. Okay, this is how it will look like. And here we are also having two components in this particular box. See, this flex is there, right? This one. See, the moment you activate this, right? Activate this flex. If you click on this, activated. So this flex is getting activated right now. Just see how many elements are there. First element is this, second element is this. Both are into column. Now we can give some gap here as well. We can give some gap, say gap. Now I don't know what gap is. Let's take a look at this. Okay, let's 0.5, 1. Okay, one gap we can give. So we gave one gap. Okay, this is how it looks. And this is your card. Okay, this card is having 2 things majorly. This is your dog again. This is your image. This is your text. This is your complete card. Let's run this. Both cards are coming together. Now they all should be structurized properly. They are not yet. See, this is your second card, this is your first card. Let's choose the first element here like this and simply click on this. So see, this is the extra space that we can utilize. How do we use this? The first thing that we do is same thing basically. We actually utilize it. Gap 4. Gap 4 we can give something like this will be fine. Okay, now the problem is just if I want to know like which which thing will make things proper for us, basically like this. See, here what we are doing is we are putting the padding as 4, okay, and we are also putting W3 by 4 means 75%. Now in 75% this is going into the middle, basically this is going into the starting of it. This part is basically remaining. If we want to structurize this whole thing into the center, let's how we do it. Let's see how can we do this. The first thing that we'll do is we'll simply put flex, and next thing that we'll do is we'll simply put center like this. See, it should look like this basically. So on W3 this part basically let's come and simply put justify center. Okay, this is what we did. We added on parent widget. The children widget, see, parent widget is taking up the full width. Take a look at this. There is some extra part, there is some yellow colored orange colored linings, okay, and just take a look at this. This is your space basically. This is your space technically, okay. There your content goes, okay. Okay, but there is no content, that is why it is not working. So let's do one thing. Let's on this one, let's put w full. Okay, so it completely got here. Okay, and no, see, this is what happened here. Okay, on this element it is taking up the full width. Yeah, justify center is somehow, it is not working. Justify center is not working at all. So there is one more thing we can do. We can do something like margin auto. Margin auto does work all the time. Auto means it is automatically putting things into order. M auto we can put into center, it will automatically put. See, it will make things like this. Okay, then here width full is given here. Okay, if width full is given here, that is also fine, but it is also fine. Now let's put justify center here. So justify center totally worked here. Okay, like this. Okay, if you keep on repeating stuff here, see, these boxes are going basically in this direction, which we don't want it. So what if you have this much of a space, right? And if you keep on adding stuff into it like this, so these boxes are getting shrinkier right now. What if you don't want that? What if you want this to be having proper spacing and all? So there is one way to do that. There is something called flex wrap. So using wrap, you can wrap them. Okay, wrap doesn't work here. Okay, there has to be a reason for that. Yeah, okay, wrap we'll talk about later, but let's talk about one more thing. For example, you want all of these elements should have equal width, but they are actually having equal widths at all time. Okay, all of them are having equal width. If you put wrap here, basically if you put flex wrap, for example, like this. Okay, what is happening here is, if you add extra element into it, it will automatically be shifted. Just take a look at this. See, it is automatically shifting. So basically this is how you can create your own cards, which will keep on, see, at any point of time it will be looking like this. This is what we wanted to achieve. Okay, this is what it is about. And where you get applied this, how do I know what is the property name? Flex wrap. So it says flex wrap. We do flex wrap, that is fine. Okay, this is the flex wrap. Okay, see, got added here. This is what we are trying to. See, it looks like this basically. And the moment you, and it is not just about that. I mean, you keep on changing the screen sizes and it will automatically be adjusted accordingly, like this. Okay, this part is clear to everyone? Anybody have any doubt? No doubts, right? Okay, anybody have any doubt till this point? I mean, this is what we created, and see how it is looking. It is looking fine, but not very good. Okay, now let's talk about customization. Adding custom styles and all. For example, we can put our own colors here. We can put this color. Okay, and how do we put this color? Let's come back again, and using CDN, let me simply put it this way, and then let me just put it this. Okay, this is what we wanted to. Under theme we'll put our colors. We added our colors. Now if you want to change the color of this, any of this, BG blue, you can do that. What happened? Let's take a look at this. Why this BG blue is not working? BG blue is not working. There has to be a reason for that, correct? Okay. Maybe this is not working properly. There could be other reason as well. Okay, this is problematic. It should work, but due to some reason I'm putting the stylings here BG blue, and BG blue is not getting styled at all. If we put text blue, I'm not sure if it will get styled or not at all. Yeah, BG blue is not working, but technically it should work, and we can put our own stylings at any point. We can have our own stylings which we wanted, like this. We want a screen size to be this. Okay, we want colors to be this. Font family to be this. The reason why it is not working, because due to some reason it is not getting connected. Tailwind is not getting connected. Yeah, this is the colors. Let's do console log here. Let's see if we can find anything here. There is something called console log that goes into this. Colors. Okay, there are so many colors we can put here. Okay. You may not be able to understand this part, how script things works and all. But there is these are the colors. Stylings got not added. It's not exactly working fine basically. I will not use this. It looks simple. It looks fine. Okay. Yeah. So even though it doesn't work, Tailwind thing may not work here. Okay. But still it will be working fine in the case of for example this blue color that we wanted to put. Yeah, due to some reason it is not working. Or let's try one more time by removing of the cache. No, it's not working due to some reason. But anyways, the point is you can actually utilize this whole code and you can write some code here as well. And whatever code you write, you can actually import it into this format. Okay. That is the second thing I wanted to talk about. There is everything basically you can design with, almost everything you can design with Tailwind as well. So I hope everything is clear to everyone. Now I will finish it off. I'll stop sharing and we can talk about your questions.